Hello, folks. How are you doing today? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you are actually relaxed a little bit. You got some rest because we're going to go forth and learn how to make videos to help you with your online lessons. Okay. I know, it's too much to ask. We've been under a lot of stress trying to cope with the whole situation, but I really hope this video helps you realize that you can make your life easier. So I'm going to give you some video making tips. They're very basic, just for you to realize that you can make things different, okay? That's the whole point. You can make things different. You can increase the quality of your online lessons, and you can get yourself a little more time to focus on what really matters. Planning your lessons, finding the content, and actually making sure that your students have something engaging to do. Well, so let's get started. The first thing that I want to touch here, the first thing that I want to mention, very important tips, is synchronous versus asynchronous. Can you tell me the difference? So I want you to pause the video. If you were in an online meeting with me, or if you watched the video or followed one of the tutorials, you should probably know the difference. If you don't remember, that's totally fine, but I want you to pause the video right now so that you can try to answer the difference, okay? So pause the video. All right, I hope you paused the video. So what is synchronous and what is asynchronous? So it comes from the Greek. Synchronous means at the same time. So whenever we are online, live with our students, that means we are delivering a synchronous lesson, okay? Now, whenever we use the asynchronous element, that means that we have pre-recorded videos or materials that students will access at different times, right? You don't have to be online with your students. That's the asynchronous element of online teaching. And I think this element is very important, and I'm not sure you're using it very well because it can give you a little free time to work on the stuff that really matters, and it can help you increase the quality of your lessons. So let's think about a couple of things that you get, a couple of advantages that you get, from the asynchronous lesson. So think with me. Well, actually, I had an idea. Why don't you pause the video and try to answer why can I use asynchronous lessons, and why does it get, better or to the point, or why does it make my student learn more? So what are some advantages of the asynchronous lesson? Okay, remember, pre-recorded lessons or materials that your students have to access at different times. You don't have to be online live with them. So think of three benefits of using asynchronous lessons, okay? Pause the video, think, and then come back here. Okay, I hope you paused the video. I can't tell because I'm not with you synchronously, I'm with you asynchronously. I'm recording this video. Hopefully you paused the video and thought about three things that can actually make the asynchronous lesson better than the synchronous lesson. Well, I'll give you one. First one is editing power. And why do I say editing power? Because you know what? If I make a mistake here, if something happens because I'm recording this lesson, I can stop and I can do it again. So I can edit the video, or if I did something wrong, I can actually cut this part off and then just keep going. Or I could really restart recording. That's totally fine. I cannot do that in the synchronous lesson because it's live, it's online live. We're there. Your students are there. You are there. It's very likely that the parents of your students will also be there. So you have to do it. You have a couple of minutes to deliver your lesson, and that's it. That's the time. With the asynchronous lesson, I can stop, I can go back, I can cut some parts off, I can restart. That's awesome, right? Did you mention this? Hopefully. The other thing is flexibility. Flexibility for you and for your students. Think about it. When you are doing an asynchronous lesson, I mean, when you are making an asynchronous lesson as the teacher, and you don't really have time to do it now because you are engaged with something else, that's totally fine because you can do it later, right? You choose the time you can do it. Well, I know we're very busy. We don't really get to choose the time, but you understood the idea, right? Also, if your students cannot be live with you at a certain time during the day, if you send them an asynchronous lesson, they'll watch it when they have time. If you need parents to help their kids watch and do the things that you're telling them to do, and they cannot be live at the same time that you should be live because that's the time of their lesson normally, but maybe parents have an important meeting or they have to do something, they cannot be there helping their kids. So what do, right? If it's live, it's only synchronous, they don't have the option. Maybe they can watch the recording later, but watching the recording of something that happened a couple of hours ago in a very synchronous way is not so engaging, right? So think about it. You can increase flexibility for you, for your students, because you just upload the asynchronous lesson. They can get that video, watch it, and then do something whenever they have the time, whenever they have more time, or when it's calm for them. That's better, right? Also, if you think about it, variation. For example, if I want, I can stand up here, I can do something, or I can actually push my computer further away so that it doesn't get just my shoulders, from my shoulders up. I can dance, I can perform something, I can change the scenario, I can actually go somewhere else to record this. I can do a bunch of things that I cannot do very well if I'm just teaching synchronously. Got it? That's very important because then you can create more engaging lessons. If I want to go to the balcony, next to my plants and actually use the plants for the lesson, I can do that. I just have to set up my scenario. If I want to put something on the wall behind me and then put the computer a little further away so that, it shows from my waist up so I can use more body language, which is very important especially for very young learners and young learners, I can do it. With synchronous lessons, we normally stay very close to the computer. They can see our hands, yeah, sure, but they can see our shoulders, our neck, our heads, and that's it, right? So it gives you variation. You can make your online lessons much more interesting, much more engaging. But for that to happen, you have to follow a very important tip, which is short and engaging videos. So now I'm going to ask you to pause the video again and think with me. How short? Think about the duration of a video, asynchronous lesson. How long do you think it should be in terms of minutes, okay? So I'll give you a couple of minutes. Actually, pause the video. That's much better, much easier. Pause the video, think, give me an answer, and come back, okay? All right, I hope you paused the video. So here's a very important tip. I believe that 10 minutes maximum, so tops 10 minutes. Why? Because first of all, kids, they have a very short attention span, which means that if it's longer than 10 minutes, they're probably going to lose their focus. I actually think that 10 minutes is very long. So that's the maximum. Like if I have to do it, I can use up to 10 minutes. I'd say it's much better to make a bunch of 2 or 3 or 4 minute videos than a longer one. So instead of making a 10-minute video, you could make 3 minute videos, or you could make 4 2.5 minute videos or something like that. It doesn't have to be precise. It doesn't have to be the same amount. A lot of people are too worried about the length or how long the video is, because you know what? That's the time of their lesson, their face-to-face lesson. No, don't worry about that. It's different. We're talking about online teaching now. With a 5-minute video, I can actually generate a challenge or a task that will take more than 10 minutes, or maybe even more than 30 minutes, or even an hour, right? And then that time should count as your lesson too, okay? Remember that. So asynchronous videos will help you generate engaging tasks after the video. And what's most important is once they watch the video, they know that they have to do something. So without watching the video, it's very likely, very probable that they won't be able to do what you ask them. So you need to make sure that the video has instructions for them to do something. Otherwise, what's the point, right, in watching the videos? Now, those were the most important tips for you to start working on your asynchronous lessons, all right? And before we carry on, and now I'm going to stop this video because I want to make sure it's short, just like I told you. So I want you to think about three things that can actually help you make asynchronous videos. I mean, what are the three general ideas that have to do with the structure of the videos, the things that you have to make the videos? So what are the most essential elements, things that you need before you start making asynchronous videos, okay? Think about that. And that's the end of our first video. And you can use the comment section below to write, or you can even just, you know, record yourself, post the video, record your voice, whatever. I don't care. It's up to you. As long as you give me three elements, three things we should be worried about when we are making asynchronous lessons, okay? And that was video number 1 for you to make your life easier and for you to give the asynchronous lesson a try. All right? See you in a bit.